I don't know the music world that well, so I think but as far as I'm concerned, nobody's really done anything like this before.
Purple rain, and then the harder they come, the harder they'll fall, one and all.
There's more of these fictionalized biopic movies about musicians that are complemented by the same album title, but I don't want to bore you. These type of movies are either based on the film or the album.
Well, actually, the music was inspired by the film, so the film was the genesis.
Okay.
Well, there you are then. I was considering Moonwalker, but I guess that was based on the album Bad. But this film is heavily influenced by MJ, no doubt. Now we have another fictionalized.
The story was inspired by an incident that had happened to me a couple of years ago, loosely inspired.
Yes, loosely based true story movie, starring The Weeknd. Pretty much a vanity project called Hurry Up Tomorrow. More like Hurry Up and Finish.
For me, it's an event, and it's sort of a very unique movie that I think a lot of people will relate to.
An event, an experience, a joint. Yeah, you're not selling it well, mate. But, where do I start off with this film?
I went through something a little traumatic, performing and losing my voice in front of 80,000 people.
From what I've heard, his TV show on HBO was a complete car crash. Yet, I like Sam Levinson's work, so I'm sure I'll give it a go at some point. But in this film, he stars as himself, and he's on tour. He loses his voice, and then gets tied up by Jenna Ortega. That's the plot. Now, his acting is difficult to pinpoint, as he isn't very interesting.
The film felt like a character I had to study and understand, and kind of just put on this costume, and then by the end of it, take it off.
He says very little, and the majority of what he says feels like he's just acting. Prime example is when he gets to show off his emotions with this voicemail he leaves for Riley Keough, who's the ex in the film. She's on like the iPhone for about a millisecond. Anywho, he's supposed to really be cut up, and he's just spilling his heart out. He just sounds like a whiny little entitled bitch boy. Oh yeah, he also likes to pump dumbbells before his live performance. I think he's pushing about 7 kg there. That's a little bit more than me, but that's besides the point.
It was cathartic. It did feel personal, but I didn't feel like I was playing myself.
He also likes to do this tongue waggle that seems as if it's been trademarked by him. Although that was the best bit of acting from The Weeknd. I mean, that definitely looked organic. Actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't watch The Idol. Because watching his acting in Hurry Up Tomorrow, he looks far from able to being a competent actor.
What drew me to the story was meeting Abel and hearing what happened to him and his ideas for this movie, and liking the guy, just like really hitting it off and feeling connected to him. And then yeah, I just got crazy inspired. I think too, playing with subjectivity and headspace.
Man, fuck this shit, yo, I'm going to fuck home. Roll on my shoulders as I run back to this 8-mile road.
This guy uses his middle name because he thinks it sounds arty. In reality, it just makes him seem pretentious. And this is him editing the film, and oh, it's terrible. He should have asked Blake Lively to take over. Trey really likes the use of his 360 shots throughout the film, just giving you that feeling that you want to vomit all over the cinema floor. It was disorientating, and I just wanted to look away from the screen. It made me feel much better. Too many shots where you can't see anything because we're so close to the person on screen. This film felt a bit Tom Ford, but like a H&M version. The director also makes a cameo on the roller coaster shot, where he's actually putting in a good performance as roller coaster rider number 1. And it's not even like Trey is incompetent, because I've seen one of his other films, It Comes at Night, and that film was surprisingly good.
Come on, I gave you some time. Just open it. Hello, little darling.
She also dances to 2 of Weeknd's songs, which is definitely the best part of the movie. Like, I just woke up and was suddenly engaged in this shit fart of a film.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
So Ortega's a fan who's definitely into The Weeknd, as he's on her mobile phone's home screen.
We went to Montana, and this person wanted their house burnt down, and Jenna and us went, and we did it for real. And a wonder, Jenna leaves the house, and then we burn it up behind her, and it was an amazing experience.
Now, after burning her mum's house down, she decides to go watch The Weeknd in concert. Gets a great spot as well, which leads to some nice eye-to-eye contact with him. And I'm sure he must have this with fans all the time, but she feels like she's connected with The Weeknd's music on a more stronger personal level. Like she can feel his pain. Anyway, after The Weeknd loses his voice and runs off, he happens to conveniently bump into Ortega. They go into a cab and visit various establishments, end up in a hotel and probably spend the night together. It's not really alluded to, but it's about the next day. tomorrow, and she wants to chat to him, but he's far too focused on his mobile phone. You know, he's on tour. He wanted to hang out with a fan, do his thing, and then F off. But for Ortega, that's not good enough, considering that they had a really good personal relationship the night before. So when Ortega confronts The Weeknd on his crap acting, he attempts to leave, but she sparks him out, ties him up, and dances all over him. I mean, her role, what was it?
I think she represents the feminine piece of Abel's brain. Kind of a bit that maybe his musical persona doesn't touch on as much, but it's still obviously a huge part of any individual.
Oh, really? Okay. But, I mean, it did feel pointless. And it just kind of like felt like you were a metaphor for The Weeknd's struggles of wanting to interact with his fans. And also, he's trying to say that they're crazy?
I'm telling you, he's not here. So it's done.
Hey, stop being stupid. Hey, listen. Open the door. Doesn't escalate.
Just a brick in the wall.
I thought Barry was the bad guy in a clip provider before I went to see the film, but he's the manager and the best friend of The Weeknd. Not a very good friend, though.
There's boundaries he pushes, there's boundaries he takes, and he represents that sort of, that fly in the wall, more like, that gives us an insight into Abel's world and The Weeknd's world.
Yeah, just cocaine-fueled slug, living off The Weeknd's success. He feeds The Weeknd a little bit too much before Abel loses his voice. This is where The Weeknd runs off and bumps into Ortega, and during this time, Barry is just looking for him. He can't find him anywhere. But he does eventually find him. He's got a tracker on his phone.
He's not here.
Oh, he is here. I just seen him on his phone. Tracked him here.
He's not here, already left.
Gets into the hotel via this clip.
What are you gonna do?
And is almost about to save The Weeknd. But before he can see what's going on with Abel, Ortega excommunicates him.
Yeah, Barry's been a friend of mine. Well, I've been a fan of Sacred Deer when it first came out.
I mean, this was no killing of a sacred deer, more like killing of a twat. But yeah, Barry's role was a bit odd. It was like he was the bad guy, but he was fine. It's just weird. I preferred watching the mum in Smile 2 with her relationship with Naomi Scott. The story made more sense, and we understood the character a bit more compared to Barry, who just kind of was, just a slug.
I'm not opening the door. He left. He's
Who
gone.
do you think you are? Eh? Who do you think you are?
You.
It's 5 a.m. I'm high again.
There was one song called Gasoline, and that was an actual banger. The rest, though, was forgettable. Unlike the EP from Smile 2, his main song that he performs twice in this film sounds just like Michael Jackson's Thriller. However, it feels like a fancy crap version. He's got this very Michael Jackson-esque jacket that actually looks quite nice on him, to be fair. He also sings this a cappella at the end of the film, which reduces Ortega to tears. I mean, I was falling asleep, but he was apologizing for something. Couldn't really hear the lyrics over his high-pitched squealing.
There's also so much of it that, obviously Abel came out with an incredible album, so that intertwined throughout the whole thing. It just feels like a fan event or something to give back to his audience.
You know what? I think even if you like The Weeknd, I don't think you'd enjoy this film much either.
I'm trying to explain it like in a way that when you're watching it, you're just catching your feelings of the last scene as you're in this scene. Do you know? So it's sort of like you're still on that one. You're playing it. It's so fast,
But if you did, please leave a comment down below to say why you liked it.
From the friends and family that have seen it, from my experience working on it, anybody that I know that have seen this film, while their lifestyles or their lives or their experiences may be very different to Abel's, they can't help but resonate with that feeling. And we all know what it's like to feel lost. We all know what it's like to be scared of the future.
In terms of fictionalized, loosely based biopics about musicians, I'd actually quite like to see Miguel do a film loosely based on when he leg dropped one of his fans in a live concert. I think we got something to play with there. Could be a courtroom drama or something, as long as it's not some arty, farty, uninteresting movie like Hurry Up Tomorrow. And we might get a winner there, or at least the film might make 10 million at the box office.
If you want to interpret it in a certain way, maybe Jenna and Barry's characters are actually, a part of you, and maybe there's this whole dream analysis side running through the film. So
I think it was really important for us because that was never going to be a gotcha moment.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I think the way he was filming the movie, right away when you're watching it, it feels very subjective. Like you're in the character's head.